submitted a number of pleadings to the court, one of which generally and specifically claims the court has no jurisdiction over him, and in that regard appeared specially to contest that issue. It did so by pleadings. The presiding judge did not accept the argument. The trial date was set, and Mr. Hughes was given notice of the trial, and here we are today. So first of all, Mr. Hughes, I'm going to make a part of the court record your objections to the issue of, well, there's just a number of issues here, and I'm going to take judicial notice of those and make them a part of the record. So if I make a decision you don't like, feel that they're a part of the record that you have referred to.
Sure.
Now, one of the things that Mr. Hughes moved was essentially a motion to let me find it first of all. Motion to suppress the citation itself based upon lack of probable cause to stop the vehicle. Most people are not sufficiently acquainted with the law to do that. And what I propose to do in that regard is take that up at this trial itself. Which means if the state is unable to show that there was probable cause for the stop, I probably would suppress any evidence after that. And I think just doing it in this manner works just as well as anything. So part of the hearing today will be the motion to dismiss, which I essentially consolidated the trial itself.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen evidence yet, sir, of a contract or an obligation that compels my performance. And I don't understand these charges. I think they are false. I think they are a simulation of legal process. And I think the ticket's a counterfeit. I think I think because of the complexity of law, that oftentimes the spirit of the law has been lost. And people are just operating out of a tradition that was taught to them. And they're not reading the law. And they're misapplying the law quite often. I do not believe any contract exists that can be proven that I was engaged in any commercial activity or am engaged in any commercial activity.
That's part of your essentially the motion to dismiss based upon lack of jurisdiction of the court. Because you're claiming that this court and frankly the police officer working for the city of Canby do not have the I suppose the constitutional, broadly speaking, the legal right to control what you do as a person, which includes driving a car and requiring you to abide by.
It's not just a matter of constitution, sir. It's also a matter of the fact that the entire judicial branch of government is a subcontractor to the United States corporation. It's a political subdivision enforcing contracts, issuing contracts or obligations, promissory notes, those sort of things. I don't have any of those. And I don't believe that the officer had jurisdiction because the state's not in possession. Furthermore, the state, I've been to the DMV, and the state has already evidenced to me that they do not have possession of the MSO for the vehicle. Therefore, the state never had a possessory lien right for the compulsory taking. I tried to explain these things to the officer, but he was not in a mood for listening or having conversations. He refused to communicate.
Well, that's not his job, is to argue that type of law.
Well, he has to make lawful determinations, doesn't he? And he can't just claim that I'm in commerce when I'm not. Being in possession of a registration or a license neither is proof of a commercial activity. It's only proof that I filed for the right to be able to engage in a commercial activity, but it in itself is not a commercial activity.
You're on the record. I understand to some degree your argument. I don't agree with it. And
It's not an argument, it's a matter of law.
Yes, sir. If you say it, it's law. But a lot of people disagree as to how we interpret that law, and you're going to have to probably take that issue up, assuming I find you guilty, with the Court of Appeals, the Supreme Court. My district in the Supreme Court. You've got a long ways to go. Do you testify today?
No, I do not.
Okay. Officer, you'll stand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony about to give us that be the truth and nothing but the truth? Yes, sir. Okay.
I object to summary hearings. I have not agreed to join them.
All right. Your objection was no idea. You have an exception. State your full name, spell your last.
James Murphy, RPH1.
You may proceed.
Morning, Your Honor. I am James Murphy, police officer employed by the city of PNJ. I was so employed on November 27th, 2010, approximately 10:38 p.m. At that time, I was operating a marked patrol vehicle, wearing a uniform and badge. I was driving southbound on Northeast Territorial Road, approaching Highway 99. In front of me, I saw a green in color Plymouth Neon that had the Oregon license plate of 536 out of North. As I approached the vehicle, I saw that it had no registration plate lights or license plate lights illuminating within 50 feet. As I approached even closer, I saw that there were no license plate lights functioning at all. As the vehicle made a turn to go northbound Highway 99E from Territorial Road, I initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle. The driver of the Plymouth continued a short distance, but eventually came to a stop on Highway 99 near Territorial Road, near the entrance to Kennedy Foursquare.
Objection.
What's your objection?
He's speaking and he doesn't have any authority.
Overruled. Go ahead.
I approached the vehicle and contacted the driver, who seated to my right. He was identified eventually by his Oregon driver's license as Darrell Wayne Hughes.
Under duress.
Now, are you objecting? Is that an objection? I don't want you making comments as we go through here unless you object. If you object, I'll stop. I'll ask what the nature
I
of
object.
What's the nature of your objection?
Well, my objection is that he forced me to present the commercial identification above my will when I informed him I wasn't operating in commerce.
I'll overrule the objection. You may proceed.
Mr. Hughes presented his Oregon driver's license as well as a bill of sale for the vehicle. I asked Mr. Hughes about the insurance on the vehicle. I also had previously, and I forgot to mention, checked the license plate of the vehicle, ran a warrant response checks on the vehicle. The insurance on the vehicle had showed terminated on September 15th, 2010. I notified him that at this time as well. I'm referring to the report for more specific quotes from Mr. Hughes. Mr. Hughes did not present an insurance card. I asked him again for an insurance card, and he told me that all he was going to provide was his driver's license as well as the bill of sale.
Objection. I never stated that, and I told him I was not going to submit him a driver's license. I had other ID that I could have presented. He refused to accept it.
All right. What you're objecting to is factual as opposed to rules of evidence, and that's, I guess, what we have trials is for everybody to put their own facts into evidence. So I have to overrule that objection, and if you're going to question about that, then it's true to question, but that's an issue of evidence and facts, and not this.
Mr. Hughes at this point had not provided any proof of insurance on the vehicle. As I stated earlier, the insurance on the vehicle showed terminated through the law enforcement data system on the date that I mentioned earlier. At that point, failure to carry proof of insurance, as well as the information that had been provided through the law enforcement data system, I believe there was no insurance on the vehicle, and I prepared to execute a tow on the vehicle at that point. The cover officer was called. Officer Walbaum arrived on scene to assist with the stop. Approached the vehicle again, asked Mr. Hughes to step out of the vehicle in preparation for an inventory of the vehicle at that time. Incident to a tow for driving uninsured as well as being a hazard. Mr. Hughes said that he would not step out of the vehicle unless he was ordered to do so, at which time I told him to step out of the vehicle. He stepped out of the vehicle, and the vehicle was inventoried. I spoke to him further about the insurance on the vehicle. I asked one last time if there was insurance on the vehicle, and he told me, "I know you're just trying to entrap me." That's all I'm going to say. That was a quote. The vehicle was towed from the scene, and Mr. Hughes issued a citation for defective lighting as well as driving uninsured at that time.
Mr. Hughes, any questions you'd like to ask?
Not at this time.
Okay. Do you have any other witnesses?
I do not.
Do you wish to present any evidence?
Sure, I'll present some evidence. My first evidence is my complaint and my objection, and the court has still not provided me with any evidence or proof of its jurisdiction, and yet I am still forced to stand here and defend myself. Why?
All right.
What is the obligation that compels?
Ask a question.
I'm sorry.
And then don't.
I'm sorry, sir.
At least, even if you disagree with the fact that I'm here, the fact that you're there doesn't mean that you can't be heard.
I agree, sir, and I'm sorry. I apologize.
You previously filed written objections and demanded a response from the court. The court did not respond. You moved, as I recall, for dismissal based upon that, which was denied. And so that is already in the court record, and you may have an exception. That's all the explanation you're going to receive from me, because the court doesn't have to explain to you why it's here.
But it does have to explain how it obtained jurisdiction of my construct of flesh and what created the attachment and the obligation and the duty.
No, I don't think so.
Well, if you can't prove a duty and an obligation, then one must not exist. If you do not have evidence of a duty or an obligation, why would I be required to obey something when I'm not even really being told what it is I'm supposed to